Good afternoon, everybody. A very impromptu stream. Even Billy didn't know of my arrival here today. Thought I'd make the best of a bad situation, you could say. And coincidentally, as I was travelling up here in Rochdale, I actually seen Billy on a live through his Facebook page, Parents Against Grooming. And it was coincidentally, I caught Billy up on the way back to the PAG hub. So I quickly said to Billy, yes, Dan. Quickly said to Billy, come on, mate. I know you're not expecting me, but let's go and have a chat about what you've just been chatting about. So with that, I'm going to say, hello, Billy Howard from Parents Against Grooming Rochdale. How you doing, mate?
Hello, Philip, and hello, Philip's viewers, subscribers, friends. How you all doing on this sunny day in Rochdale?
Yes, mate, it is cold. It's a little bit chilly today, but fresh. You know what? Coming up on the tram, I do admire the beauty of the hills, surrounding Rochdale.
I'm biased because I live here and I love the place, but we've got the best looking town in the country.
Amazing.
It's gorgeous.
Amazing.
That park up there is the best looking park.
Yes, but maybe have a little walk in a bit.
Yeah,
if you're up for it.
It might be a good looking park to look at it from the outside, because inside it is not safe.
It's a shame. It's a shame to say that. But afternoon all anyway, thank you. I see people jumping on. I'm going to put a YouTube video out about the report. Yes, Shane. Shane is one of my dearest subbers. He supports what PAG are doing. And obviously, mate, let's talk about it. All right, Rose, how you doing?
She backed me up against Inspector Plum.
Oh, yeah?
I think it was, yeah. I think she's put him straight. Inspector Rob McGregor.
Right.
Who was attacking us as a one-issue group on Facebook via Twitter because they said it was their fault to shut the hustings down for Rochdale elections.
I mean, that's so disingenuous to say that.
Yeah, it's just a plum in here.
Well, let's start from the beginning, Billy, right? This is why we've come out.
Yeah, sure.
You were doing a live talking about, let's just get out a little bit over here because I think the sun's kind of obscuring the view a little bit. Right, we're outside Rochdale Police Station, mate. Obviously over the past few days the reports come out. GMC,
Tuesday, yeah.
Now that's highlighted what was already there. This is not news that anyone who is looking into
this
should be.
Confirmation and validation of what people like myself
and it's put in a way that certain people and certain authorities can't deny it and can't castigate people for bringing this topic up. So it's touched a nerve in many ways now. Now, what are your thoughts on the situation with what you've been looking into and the acknowledgement of that report? Billy Howard from Parents Against Frigging Grooming.
The only people who acknowledge that we've had anything to do with it are the people within the groups, who have seen us, who've watched our lives, but you don't for 1 minute think any of the establishments will acknowledge the work we've done on the ground and continue to do on the ground to make it safer.
Yeah.
The exposure we've exposed, only your viewers and mine know about that because, it's not... I've had 100 and odd reporters over the years come over and video us and talk about what just been released, yet they're all coming back asking for my opinion now, and they've all been told to feck off, BBC, ITV, they've all been at us, you know what I mean?
So in your opinion, Billy, what was stopping them getting involved in the first place? Because it does seem like they're jumping on a bandwagon now, doesn't it?
It's back to the same old thing, isn't it? Political correctness. They were too frightened. I mean, we all are, aren't we,
Yeah.
The country's frightened of what it says.
Yeah.
We can't say the truth because we're bigoted. I've had bigot.
Right, Billy, come on, let's concise this up. What is the truth, Billy?
The truth is,
the PC?
Here in Rochdale, South Asian men of Pakistani origin abuse masses of children.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shouldn't hide behind the facts.
No, but then again, we go back another 20 years and it was a posse of white men doing the same thing. So let's not get stuck on that issue.
Let's be fair, at this present moment in time, both parties are still doing that. And I don't mean political parties, I'm on about there's white people that are acting in paedophilic behaviour. There is people within the Muslim facility, faith, religion, however you want to call it, under whatever, bad is bad, that they are complicit in doing this as well. And then you've got the chain of command that is facilitating and allowing both of it to carry on.
This is where it lies for me, Phil. We can go up and lock every person who's, could be a groomer. We can lock them all up.
Yeah.
5 more will pop up in the place, 20 more, 30 more, 50 more. when we make it impossible for him to be able to do it, and that means the leadership of the town, this leadership over the last 60 years has been a Labour leadership, more or less, a bit of Lib Dem here and there. Between them, they facilitated mass abuse of children, and to this day it's the same people that are still in these positions. All right, we may have got rid of one, but one came from being police and crime commissioner through the first scandal in 2003, right over into the rollover into the scandal of 2014 as our MP. This man should be held accountable. Plus the other stuff we've already put forward, of which you all know, of the 2013 cover-up, of the meeting of 2013, which we've covered. These people need to be held to account now, Phil. They've got away with it far too long. They're all sat there, yeah, we got away with it. He didn't, because we never let up. We never let up. And no, we haven't got the adulteration, but we haven't got the back slaps, but I don't care about that.
Well, this review is proof that it's not going away. It's only going to inflame more the more it's not addressed.
Now, part 2 is due out.
Right.
Part 2 is 6 times as worse as part 1.
Really?
That's what I'm told.
Okay.
That's what I'm told.
Now,
I think that will cover the scandals between 2012 presently.
if people are handling this, I mean, people are still, their emotions are, pretty low over what is going on and what seems to be that they can't talk about and what seems to be going under the radar. Now this report comes out in a blatant manner that kind of validates where they're thinking. But at the same time, not a lot of people are not attributed with the hate and the ignorance that comes with the low frequency of this information.
How many people are calling Andy Burnham a racist today for allowing this to be exposed?
Well, there is an element. This is what I'm saying. So with this going on now, this report that's come out, it's affecting people greatly.
No.
With this next report that comes out, if you're saying what's true, that the information's even more damning, it's going to have an even worse effect. Now, the question I'm asking is, Billy, how the hell do you quell the emotions of people at this moment in time? Because I don't know whether you can sense it, I've got a spidey sense that it doesn't feel good with the reaction of the populace in terms of how they're reacting to the failings and the culpability of these people, because they're not being satisfied that things are being done. Now, what I'm saying is, are people going to address this in a positive way or a negative way? How do you feel about all that?
Yeah, it's the same as anything really, Phil. Half one, half the other, isn't it? You know what I mean? But one thing I am for certain is I'm gonna hold a protest next Saturday, Phil, at 1 o'clock over here at the Rochdale Town Hall. I don't care what your political allegiance is, I don't care what God you pray to, I don't care anything else. The only requirement that you must have is that you have children, you're a brother or sister, an auntie, uncle, nan or granddad. If that is the case, join me over there next Saturday at 1 o'clock, because what's happened here, it started here in Rochdale. We've uncovered it here in Rochdale now, and the next report, part 2, will absolutely blow the lid right off, and then we'll get accountability starting here. But I don't just want to stop here. I don't just want to have these people from Rochdale held to account. I want to go to Oxford, I want to go to Rotherham, I want to go to Sunderland, I want to go to Newcastle, I want to go to everywhere where this is taking place, and we want to roll this out across the country till everybody who's involved that facilitated child abuse gets held to account. Next stop, Oldham. We've seen what's going on there. With Roger Mears exposing what's going on in Oldham.
Because this ain't being done out of a selfish vein, out of, you know what, Rochdale's my city, Rochdale's my town, so I'm only worried about that. You genuinely do want to roll out in other cities. When we talk about this, in a sense, we're talking about this because we know there is over 50, 60, 70 towns and cities that has been designated with this exact problem. So we're not trying to diminish any of the plight in any other cities. However, you can't spread yourself too far as well.
You've got to win at home before you win abroad.
Without a doubt. So talking about this is acknowledging what's going on elsewhere as well.
Of course, I know there's this issue, it's not just a Rochdale issue. I've always pointed that out. However, I'm from Rochdale, and we're kind of more advanced than the other places, so Rochdale was one of the first to come out. Rochdale and Rotherham were the 2 first to come out. Rochdale probably the first one to break. But we're not in no mistake that there's hundreds of towns, it's like 70 odd towns who've gone through what we've gone. We're just further down the line in the fight. Pick up where we are. Don't start from where I started from 6 years ago. Start from where I am now. I'll join you. We will join you, and we'll help push for accountability. All them cases now, Operation Span Double, Operation Phoenix, Operation what's it called, Augusta, have all been reopened. All been reopened. All them identified males are going to be arrested. Also, these lots say. Also, Ian Hopkins says, but we know he's a full of shit liar anyway.
Let's face it again, mate. I'm going to drum home because partly me being here now is being stood in the middle, in a sense that I can feel an energy brewing, and that energy is brewing out of anger and frustration. But
Despair, Philip.
it is, and it's becoming polarizing with people that can see exactly what's going on, but almost they can't help because it's insatiable, because they're not being listened to, they're being ignored.
The problem you've got here in Rochdale, there's a lot of people who say, this isn't happening, I'm going to go and speak to my MP. If this is happening in this town, I want to speak to my MP. And he's saying, no, just take no notice, the racist, that lot. They've had it out for me since I was Police and Crime Commissioner. Just take no notice. What's your problem? You got bins aren't being emptied on time, we'll get that sorted.
Trivialised.
Yeah, so the Labour Party and the Liberal Democrat Party on their behalf have talked the people of Rochdale down.
I was
now
listening.
They can.
Mate, I was listening on the radio the other day, something about some member of Labour, if they end up taking power, the first thing they're going to do is look into anti-Semitism within the frigging Labour Party. Now, this is so ironic that if you are going to castigate other people, I was called a Nazi by a Corbynista, but yet the first thing that they're going to do is going to look into anti-Semitism, which is what you would regard as Nazism. So you're calling me a Nazi for talking about abuse and issues that are going on, and people that are so polarised that they're blowing each other up, but yet your own party are Jew haters.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is becoming more of a distraction than it is a help. It's almost like either political party, they're no help here. It's like the ground level have got the common sense here. The ground level are doing the shouting. The political parties are taking it for their own political gain, but effing it up and leaving the people getting more and more angry. I'm ranting here, sorry.
No, you're right. I met with a Tory representative before Christmas. And they said to me, and I met him in a little porky post office in the middle of nowhere. Obviously didn't want anyone to see us meeting. So I went along with it. I went to the meeting, and I was told at the meeting by the Tory person, we absolutely support what you do. We understand why you do it, but you're too controversial. So here's what we're proposing. We will fund you to open a new group with a new name and go for it like that, do it.
And how did you feel about that when he said that? What was going through your head?
I laughed because I didn't even think I'd get that, you know what I mean? I weren't going there before I was there.
I mean, because that is a genuine, well, I mean, if it is a genuine offer, it's thinkable, but in a sense, what's controversial about what you're doing?
Exactly, and why would I side with someone who thinks what I'm doing is controversial?
But then when we spoke about this and we've said the element of control is lost then when you start taking orders from these people and they go, well, you do this and this will happen. You're all right, mate. You know, so what do? You want help, but then you're very critical as to the help and their agenda for them offering that
Did
help.
you get onto that?
No, what didn't?
What's out? Come back up here.
Really?
Yeah. That's what I said to him, some lap that.
Oh, okay, so we've got a scout.
I think so.
We've got a scout from the police doing the rounds. Don't know what's going on there.
The town's knackered and we need it. There's a reset button over there.
Yeah.
It needs to be pressed, but we don't want the same people pressing the reset button that made us need to press the reset button.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah, no, totally.
We can go up and arrest the whole of Deepwich because they all might be groomers.
I'm going to say something even extended from that, mate. Is it a national reset? Is it a global reset? Because what we're going through is on a global level.
It is.
I can go on YouTube and watch stuff
is.
about Epstein that's
Right.
very relevant to what's going on
You're
now.
absolutely spot on. But speaking, you're not going to get a national movement like that.
No, I
You're not
agree.
gonna get it. You're not.
Yeah. You've got to start local.
Yeah. We nailed their hats on for what they've done here in Rochdale. We could take the same model to Rotherham and say, well, this is how we did it here in Rochdale. Let's start doing it that way, and then we can go to the Telford. It's already active in Telford, isn't it? We've already smoked with. Because we missed Miyagi because I've helped him that much over the years. You know what I mean? But what they're doing now is actually good work. You know, they're doing some really great work. So you've got to support the people doing good work, not just the ones who are going marching about it.
I mean, let's face it. 7/8 out the people that come on YouTube that make the comments, it's out of good intent, and it's out of, they see a demise, they see things happening, they see abuse going right under the radar. Yeah. The other two are the spike that just want trouble, can't understand, can't interpret it, and probably more of a hindrance than a help. I mean, that on all sides, whether it's left, right, or whatever.
There's a protest being called in Manchester tomorrow.
Some flash protest. I've seen this one going on today, apparently. The people on here might be able to enlighten us, but I'm sure I've seen on a Facebook post that there's supposed to be a flash protest going on in Manchester today. Now, can anyone confirm that on this chat? 2 p.m. Manchester. Thank you, Den. Right, now, let's get back to what we were talking about the anger and about the animosity that is building. Flash protests are one thing. What needs to happen here now in terms of the public and how they go about things, Billy? Because that's just as important as anything else, I would say.
You need to join us. It's your kids here, and my kids are safe at home. I know what's going on, so my kids are safe 100%. I know my kids are safe because I know what's happening out here. A lot of you don't know what's going on out here, so your kids aren't as safe as you'd like to think. For them, not for me, I'm not bothered. For them, not even for Bag UK, for your kids, come and join me there next Saturday, because we need to push for accountability. We need to make sure that these people who run these towns get held to account when they make massive blunders like this. And it is a blunder. It's like Maggie O says, this isn't a mistake. This is knowingly covering up child abuse. Someone is guilty of knowingly covering up child abuse. These people must be held to account. And she's right. She's absolutely spot on. I support her 100% when she says it. And it starts here, and it starts over there, and it starts at the riverside.
So with people that can't make Rochdale, with people that do want to make a stand elsewhere in the country, what is the most proactive and positive way that they can do it? Going back to the fact that people are going to be pissed, there's a lot of animosity, and people are getting to the point where they've had enough.
Here's one thing every one of us can do, including myself. Get the email open. I've already done it. Write an email to the GMCA and tell them and don't ask them, demand with what's in that report, the people responsible are held to account. If mass people do that, they have no choice but to push for accountability. Otherwise, he knows next time it's an election, he's not going to get voted in as mayor, isn't he? And that's, he loves the role. So we need to go at him. I was there in the Centurion stand when it was the Hillsborough Memorial, and I seen that man's face when over 30,000 people were screaming justice for the 96 in his face. If you've never seen the footage, Phil, watch it, because you change a man from being confident into being shit. I'm up against it here. I've got to help these people. And they've backed me into a corner and got me in front of all these people. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
If we go
you're right.
And 1,000 people turn up on next Saturday, they will have accountability. The town will fry. The leadership of the
So let's go through it again, right, guys? Hold on. We're just panning round. Okay, police station, town hall,
Rochdale
council.
Town Hall.
Okay, these are the two places that have held the knowledge. I think you were saying this used to be a magistrates as well, yeah? So these are the places that have really held the keys to what's been going on in Rochdale.
These could have prevented anything happening.
They could have.
2003 onwards, they could have prevented it. They knew some of them men from 2003 went on to abuse girls in 2012, and not just from 2003 to 2012 to 2014. How many years is that? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years of being allowed to abuse children, and you wonder why the numbers are up to like 49, 50.
Yeah. It's getting to levels now where if this is not handled adequately, intelligently, and with consideration to the public, and more importantly, the survivors.
This is another point I wanted to make, Phil. I've seen interviews by Steve Rumbelow, Ian Hopkins, Tony Lloyd. Tony Lloyd said nothing on the subject. I've seen
he said nothing of the report?
Nothing, not a
Seriously?
word. No Twitter, no Facebook, nothing, not a word.
Wow,
the only thing he's reported on in the last 2 days is a young Asian populated school up the road here. That's the only thing he's reported on. Sarah Ray Botham, Maggie Oliver, Not one survivor have I seen tell their story of what was allowed to happen to them on the news. Why? Because it's them, it's their story people want to hear, so they know the truth. But again, still even the media suppressing that, you know what I mean? I've got one reporter asking me to bring survivors. Do you know how hard that'll be now, getting them to trust the media? Because they've given them all this already. They've had this for years from these people. I've put loads of people in front of the media, survivor-wise, from both Norview, from Cambridge House, from Rochdale grooming scandals, even from Burnley grooming scandals. I've put them all in front of a camera. And yeah, in fact, you're the only one who's ever published it.
Really?
Yeah, you're the only
Bloody
one.
hell, what does that say, Billy?
You're the only one, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah.
You're the only one. All these people have given their story to mainstream media, and it's just been, oh no, no. Now the reports out, they're coming back saying, oh, can you get us in touch? Oh, can you do this interview? Can we come and see you? No, can you? Do you know what I mean? The only person I trust now is the Philip.
So the level of the Philip, I love my formal name being thrown out. So what you're saying is, mate, the level of distrust is at an optimum now. So even that this problem is coming out, how the hell do you go about it with a mistrust of the media and an establishment at an all-time high? How the hell do you do that, Billy?
By changing leadership, because they know what they've done. Top-down reform, top-down reform. That's what I've always said it, top-down reform. It needs to go, it needs to rebuild, it needs to start again for the sake of our children. It needs to start again. And we won't do that until we get rid of the fools, the arses in the seats. Because they're ultimately the ones that are saying, that's too controversial, that costs us a shitload of votes in election. And that's what's happening here in Rochdale.
Survivors.
Kids' safety for votes.
Survivors at this point is paramount to any of this debate now, isn't it?
Yeah.
No matter anyone's personal feeling or outrage towards any of what has gone on. You've got to consider how the survivor feels, what the survivor's going through and still going through. So going back to the knee-jerking, the flash mobs, the flash protests, what have people got to consider when they're running out in the streets talking about the outrage of what survivors are going through? What's it?
We've got to consider survivors, because don't forget, this is really dragging a lot of trauma back up for a lot of survivors. I mean, we're there, so we've got to do it though. It needs to be done. I've spoken. But
it has to be done right though, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've done one live video. I could have done 5 or 6 TV interviews by now. I could have gone to Media City yesterday and done a few interviews, but I refused because of them, because of the survivors, because I want them to come to me and say, I'm ready to do this now. And a lot of them are. We used to get, it makes me think, because we used to get a lot of survivors who come and they'd say, I've been to the police and they're not taking attention. Can you help? Now they're coming saying, I need to go to the police, can you come with me?
Yeah.
Rather than go to the police and then the police mess them about and then come to us. They're coming to us before they even go to the police.
So why do you think that is, Billy?
Lack of trust.
Yeah.
Trust, because they know what they've done.
So what is it you're doing that the police are not then?
I'm just giving them a shoulder to lean on when they go, and believe it or not, when we're sat with them, the police kind of act more professionally with people. It's hard to understand, but they do.
More on the mark.
Yeah,
because they know. Yeah.
You can't go in there anymore now and say, I want to report a crime.
So are you officially Mr. Hemorrhoid then? Is that official?
I'm Junior Hemorrhoid.
The Hemorrhoid family.
Yeah,
We've got an Hemorrhoid family in Rochdale, and Linda's the mother. We've got the son that's Billy. We don't know who the father is. We're going to have to find a designated father for this role, I think.
Father Hemorrhoid.
But so we're not making light. We're trying to have some positive energy with what a bad situation is really going on.
Cut a long story short, this is a GMCA report has absolutely exposed Manchester, Greater Manchester. It's exposed, but the part 2 exposes what happened here in Rochdale. We need to fight tooth and nail to get rid of the leadership from here. I keep saying it because that's how important it is.
Sure.
Because it's the same people who covered up Norview, same people who covered up grooming scandal. It's the same people, so they're not just accountable for that; they're accountable for that as well. And that's about to come back out in the wash. That isn't finished with. All I can say on that subject is Operation Hydrant is active, and that's looking at historical abuse. I know it's active. So that's not finished with yet. Again, that's going to rear its ugly head. I know it is. Just like I told you, I knew this report was coming. I said, there's a report coming, Phil. There's a report coming.
I want to get on to historical cases in a second, so remind me about that. But before I do, I've got to bring this point up. A big hello to Stacey. The Mancangel, by the way. Hello there. I haven't seen you on the chat for a while. Hope you're doing well. She brings up a good point, and she always does. She's always asking me on Linda's progress. How's Linda doing, Billy?
She's fighting on.
Yep.
She's inspiration, and she
is
the bar. She is the bar for us all.
Yeah.
As we know, she has health issues at the moment. I don't like talking about it. It makes me get emotional. She's like, I have a mum, you know what I mean? I've got my mum, I love my mum.
Yeah.
But
she's a fighter.
She's like an adopted mum. I love her to bits.
And she makes a bloody mean stew, mate.
She makes she's a good cook. But boy, oh boy, she's had these lot on the toes for years, hasn't she? And I feel privileged and honoured that one day I'll be taking that baton off her and running for her.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do. You know what I mean?
She's a fighter.
I'm hoping we get some justice.
I mean, we seen her last week, didn't we? And her spirit's just in exactly the same place as it was last time we seen her.
Cancer's just been hammered. I'm telling you, she's picked the wrong person because she'll not fuck out of it.
Yeah, I mean, and I think she is.
She is, she's winning it.
She's certainly
she said
winning.
If it worked for what it says on the paper, she wouldn't even know she had it.
Yeah.
She's been through chemo, radiotherapy. This woman's Maggie Thatcher, Iron Lady.
But like you say, I mean, this goes back to inspiration.
The Iron Lady.
It is, mate. It goes back to inspiration again. And when we're going back to flash mobs and people running about getting all angry, and there's a reason for it. There's a reason. But the bottom line is we've got to look at the situation of everyone. We've got to look in the mirror of what is going on. When you look in the eyes of people like Linda, when you look in the eyes of survivors, then are you so outraged? Have you got that justification to be that outraged? Have you got that justification to go online and say things because you're angry about the world? Or should you just chill out and remember that there's people in the world that are going through far more shit than you will ever do? But it's understandable why you feel the way you do. Does that make any sense?
I mean, I'm outraged because I'm close to the survivors.
Yes.
Involved in these cases.
Yes.
I'm very close to a lot of them. You know what I mean? Some of them are my friends, some of them took their own life. So to me, it's not just a cause. To me, it's honour of those people.
So you want support of people, but you've got to remember, in terms of...
it's personal for me as well.
Yeah. You've got to remember what it's all about and who it is you're fighting for. And the fact that when you do it, you've got to do it with an element of dignity and decorum and intelligence for them people, because they haven't got the voice. You are on the streets representative of them.
The rule is me. I try and keep my cool on alive. I may have just broke that down there.
Well, mate, let's talk about that then.
I may have just lost it a little bit on the
Billy,
line.
it's freaking understandable. I talk French on every other sentence, and I keep doing it, and I can't help it. One, I'm working class, and two, this subject's not nice. You can't keep having a joke with this subject.
No, the reason why I end up swearing at it is because I'm a passionate guy.
Yes.
But it makes you look like you're not on the ball. I need people to know I'm on the ball. These people will be able to account.
Because the one thing you guys realise, and I try and realise, and it's not easy, professionalism within this is hard to strive because of the topic matter, but it is so important in order to drive the message out that people critique you on the slightest little thing. So if you're effing, if you're doing this, if you're not doing it in the right way, you get knocked down, which means your argument loses a little bit of credibility.
Of course.
So we've got to sharpen our tools very bloody quickly.
Exactly.
So same again, going back to the flash mobs, going back to your representation on this subject, how is it important? How important is it for professionalism from each individual, no matter what you're doing, whether you're commenting online or whether you're going out waving a bleeding flag, whatever you're doing?
We keep decorum. We do it peacefully.
Yep.
We do it together. We don't push and shove. We don't barge and barge. You know, we don't argue with whoever turns up to counter protest. We're not there for them. We're there for one reason only, is to call for accountability out of this building, that building, and the Riverside. That's all we're coming for.
Explain what the Riverside is.
The Riverside is a local authority building where the big wigs all like to sit when they're not allowed in the town hall through the day. They'll sit in the riverside, and then at night they'll take over the town hall to have all the little posh meetings,
Right.
the door closed meetings
Right.
and stuff.
Little satanic rituals.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
Well, look at the gargoyles, you know what I mean? It
I know.
says it all.
Yeah.
We know what Rochdale is about. We know what it's Masonic.
Well, I mean, it's all based on a system in which there's an element of satanic, you know.
That's another fight, Phil, isn't it?
It is indeed. I mean, that essentially, Billy, I personally believe, and I don't want to go off on one here, but I think what we're fighting, the battle is light versus dark. It's not left or right. It's not right even wrong. It's light versus dark.
Yeah, I believe that.
You know, and how you get to that, we're at the ground level trying to ascertain the level
That's it
to
as
that.
well, guys. I'm going to send a message out now that I've sent out 1,000 times before. I'm not asked if you're left, if you're right, if you're upside down, if you're inside out, you're pink, blue, black or orange. If you've got children that you love, or you have relatives that are children that you love, join me again next Saturday at 1 o'clock. Because that's the only way. Once we've got accountability here, all of us together can move on to the next place and the next place and the next place. So we, us together, clean this shit up. That's the only way forward. Like I said, it'd be easy to go and arrest all those that could be groomers, but what's the point? We're just going to leave the same people in charge, because they're still going to allow the next lot that pop up to carry on.
Yeah.
We need to get rid of them, to stop it.
Is this argument on the borderline of being made mainstream, in a sense that when do you foresee a time that political correctness can be stripped enough to be able to talk about this on an intellectual level without people triggering?
With this review, I mean, they've been able to play that card all the way up to this review.
Yeah.
Now it's there, it's official. The authorities are telling us this was ignored for the sake of political.
So stop
votes.
beating down people for wanting to bring up this talking
like
point.
I told you, I've been racist, I've been a bigot, I've been this, I've been that, I've been everything, every name under the sun while I've been doing PAG UK. But today I'm vindicated.
I'm a coconut, I'm a Nazi.
Oh, there you go.
I'm a traitor to my own sort, you know. I'm also a good dad.
There you go.
I'm also someone who gives a shit about the world. You know,
I love my kids, and that's one of the main reasons why I do this, is because I've got a granddaughter now. She's going to have to grow up into this.
Sure.
I want to make sure that she's never at risk when she leaves her house. Can I say that now? Obviously not. There was a 16-year-old girl raped last week up here on the top in the school uniform.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Still not been caught. There's a massive man on.
Was that the one where the guy stabbed her?
I'm not sure about that. That detail hasn't come out in the paper. I don't think. I've not read
There was
it.
one with a mixed race guy who
that's
stabbed.
it.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. And that's, you know,
well done.
I think it was, yeah. We were talking
See,
about
look,
that the other day.
We don't even know which rape we're on about, because there's that many.
There's that many. There is that many. This is where it goes back to the information, Billy, that this ain't a very lovely, light subject to cover. None of us wanted to come on platforms talking about this, constantly uploading this. You'd rather live
in peace. I want to get up every morning and think about child abuse.
I don't know how you do it, Billy.
At first it was a struggle. It made me mentally ill. And I feel absolutely hanging that I'm going to actually say this, but in my head it's normalised.
Yeah.
Because of the amount that I'm seeing. You know what I mean?
And you can't, once the box open, you can't get rid of it now, can you?
No.
It's there.
I'm going to need, one day I'm going to need counselling.
Yeah.
I'm going to have PT. I've already got PTSD, I know, but I'm going to be struggling as I get older.
Right, okay, you brought up a bloody good point there, mate.
Can't do this without being worried about mental health.
I was given this, right? Now, I'm going to flip the camera here, guys.
You give it.
It was Lisa from PAG, right? You see that there? Hello there, anyway, by the way, guys. That there, right? Now, I'm not sure totally what it represents, but the way Lisa was talking about it, we're talking about how, you know, you've got your alphabet disabilities.
Hidden disabilities.
Right.
So
now, this is
things like autism.
Yes. ADHD, all the, you know, all the others that are kind of brought out. Now, this is an emblem that has been rolled out. I'm not sure whether it's nationally to recognise that. So there's certain key big corporations, organisations, that when this is shown, this symbol, they automatically know that you're representative of that. So I thought, brilliant. You actually said to Lisa, have you got another pin for Phil? Took that pin. Now, what I'm trying to say is, mate, with all... Oh, Jesus, I'm showing my coat here. Right, with everything that's going on, how much anxiety is this causing over the population to the point where you're going to create more people that come under this banner.
Sure, yeah. I mean,
Do you want to speak about that for a little bit?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the anxiety levels of parents in Rochdale must be through the roof. Every time the kids go to school, every time they're 10, 20 minutes late home. Yeah, I'm the same. I know where my kids are. I'm on the phone at 3:05. Where are you? Are you close? Right, I'll come and meet you at the end of the street. She's 16. You know what I mean? She's like, Dad, piss off. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm saying I won't. No, I'll meet.
But isn't it crazy, Billy? On the slash of that, we live on a beautiful world. We live where there are people that will want to work
Nothing
together.
wrong with the world, it's just the people that are in
No,
it.
I know. But this is the crazy, because what we're trying to do, we're not trying to promote Project Fear here, but we're creating something that is there. But at the same time, we're not going to say to our kids, don't you ever go out at night. We're saying there are beautiful people out there. Unfortunately, we do live in the world where this is happening as well.
Of course. We need to make it prevalent at the dinner table, this conversation.
Yes.
That's what I know. A lot of parents, even myself, when I'm talking, my daughter came home with first daughter said something about a period. I come me, no. You know what I mean, Phil? We've got to knock that stuff on the head because we need to be able to
I don't even want to go into it.
I know, you got daughters. But Phil, the best thing you can do and the biggest service you can give your children is sit them down at dinner table and say, this is happening, guys.
Yeah.
Watch this BBC Three Girls Loved. Watch it, because you need to understand. You might not, I know my daughter won't go near any of these men. But it doesn't stop her when she's walking down the road or she's cutting through Broadfield Park of one of them getting a grip, and that's what we're seeing here as well.
But at the same time, you don't want to promote Project Fear. In a sense,
it's come to the point now in Rochdale where I think fear's the best way.
Really?
Really, that's how bad it's become. It's how unsafe it is at the minute in Rochdale. We want to change that, of course. We're out as much as we can be, but we're only human. We've got families ourselves. I'd like to have a team out every night. It's not possible until you get the boots on the ground. If I've got a bigger team, then I'll be able to work every night, you know what I mean? But it's at the point now where children aren't safe in this borough. I said to you, I don't know what you said, or I said it in the group, I feel like the kids are under attack.
Yeah, you have mentioned that.
I feel like, because this is my fault. Rochdale. It's 3 or 4 a day now, Phil, of incidents of a car pulling up saying to 2 schoolgirls, do you want to go for a drive?
And we're talking here a whole manner of different people here that are doing this to children.
Well, in jail, aren't they? So, but don't forget, the report said 72 were identified in 2003. Yeah? Only none arrested.
I know.
Only 8 of them further in 2013. That means there's another 60 odd men here in Rochdale or
they've been re-released. Yeah.
Who did this shit.
Now, what does that say to them, Billy?
Relocate, do it, start again.
It's not a deterrent, is it?
No, it's a relocate, start again.
I don't want to live in a draconian world, but I want people to be answerable. I want justice to actually prevail here.
They've just waved complete injustice over this, but they have done, haven't they, Phil? You know what I mean? We know now. And now it's official. You know, we've been saying it for years. We've been screaming it. We've had protest after protest after protest. I've supported survivor after survivor that they've failed. I've heard the story firsthand. I've not just been reading the papers, I've not just been reading on Facebook, I've not just read the report. I knew all this because I met with the person they did it to, the people, the survivors they've done it to, which I've got first hand.
Right, well, let's get on to something else, but I'm loving this conversation, by the way.
I know Lynn's will be bitch slapping me.
Oh, will she?
Right, well, up and do it.
All right, well, do me a favour, mate, just grab that for 1 second, walk over here with me. Right, I've actually forgot the point I was going to bring up then. But generally, I mean, these chats are, they've got to happen, haven't they? You know, we've got to be able to discuss this, and we've got to do it in the right way, in a positive way.
Of course.
You know?
I mean, because of the report, it's been led down the paedophile's a paedophile, we know that. It doesn't matter what colour you are, what God you pray to. If you're going to harm a child, you should be able to account for it. If you're going to turn a blind eye or someone harms a child, whatever the reason, you should be able to account for it. I don't want to get bogged down back on this race thing, because like I said, the posse of groomers from No View are white men. Do you know what I mean? 90% of the people we have anything to do with recently is white males who are committing these crimes.
But bad is bad.
Bad is bad. But let's not hide from the fact that
There is.
82% of the grooming gangs from Rochdale
Pakistani, Bangladeshi.
are Pakistani.
And then you've got social issues of assimilation and integration, and we get all that.
Yeah,
That's not to be
I had a chat
denied.
with a gentleman last night called Mr. Patel, Ahmed Patel he's called. He's been pretty vocal on the grooming gangs around the country. And he wanted to go into villages and try and point it to one spot, one place. And I'm not down with that. I agree with what he's saying, but I'm not down with that because it can be impossible to pin it down to one village.
No.
Absolutely impossible, because it's happening all over the country. These people are from all over the world. They're not just from Iraq, they're from Iran, they're from Turkey, they're from the Kurdish, the Chinese, you know what I mean? They're English.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So
It's too broad.
yeah,
Yeah, is that's what you're saying, is it?
it's
it's
hard
too
to
broad.
you can't
problem.
pin it down on one
Too
section
complex.
of people, because to
Has
do
that been part of the problem
you're only closing part of the problem by going after one community who's
Right.
doing it.
Okay, right. Hold
Yeah.
on. Let's stop here one sec, Billy, because hold on. I'm just looking here now, and we're getting one or two comments. Maybe people are coming in and not realising what we're talking about. So let me rewrap what it is.
Go this way anyway.
I was kind of should have been doing something else today, and it kind of fell through, which is fine. But as I was transporting myself to town, I thought on a spontaneous level I would just come up to Rochdale. As I was on the tram to Rochdale, I observed that the man, the Billy Howarth, Mr. Hemorrhoids himself, was doing a live stream outside Rochdale police station. So I thought, wouldn't that be funny just to kind of bum rush him and kind of bomb his stream? But he actually had finished the stream, and I caught him just as he was about to get into the hub. And then we decided to drag him away from there, come back, and we've just kind of had a little stream. And the main topic of conversation is mainly the report, innit? The GMCA report that come out. Part one. But we're talking on a grand scope about Rochdale, about the issues, about the lack of people being able to talk about it. We're talking about the frustrations within different demographics anyway. So we're trying to just have a really good overall view chat about the frustrations of this report and the ramifications of it. So with that, Billy, sick of me rambling. If you'd like to take over, and there's a camera there, I don't know what's going on there, by the way, but anyway, Billy, go on, mate.
Yeah, so, you know, this is where they did the interview with Gail Hopper the other day on the news.
Oh, really?
So
right,
let's
okay.
just have a quick butcher's who's over here, because I reckon
See what's
we're
going
about
on
to
in the
catch two
chat.
councillors. Oh, these are girls from grooming scans, so just be careful for a minute.
Is what? Are these are... Right, they're filming two girls.
Something to do with a grooming scandal.
Is it? Right. And they're filming two girls on a bench. So, it's all good. Don't know what's going on there. Yeah, go on. Look. Billy's bombing the shot with his pad coat. That's what you got to do, innit? Yes. All about the survivors, guys. You got to remember how many people this has affected, how many different survivors. Currently now, what is going on? You know, let's face it, there could be someone, or there will be, just by numbers, there will be many people now, right at this bloody moment in time, that are in vulnerable situations, that are scared stiff, that don't want to talk about it, that are feeling very intimidated. So when we go out and we protest and we kind of try and talk about the problem, we've got to have an element of responsibility, and we've got to have an element of looking at it from their point of view and not just seeing it from our point of view.
Yeah, of course, and for that, it's not nice that it keeps getting dragged up, but it's essential that it is dragged back up, because we need accountability. Now, for those that are suffering through this revelation, and those that are struggling and can't get any support, anyone is more than welcome to contact myself via Facebook at Billy Bob Howarth, or you're welcome to come and see us at the PAG UK Hub, which is 138 Yorkshire Street, Rochdale, a well 16 1LD. Come and see us, we'll give you a hand, and anyone who wants to come forward who hasn't done so yet, come to us and we'll come forward with you. We'll take you forward, we'll stand with you, support you every step of the way, as we've done with others. Your time is now. 2020. Remember what I said? Year of survivors.
Shane M. Rochdale Council needs to be made accountable.
Of course.
That's at the cusp of it, innit, mate? Certainly at the cusp of it. There needs to be accountability. We need to be able to talk about it. We were going back before about the mainstream, mate. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
This needs to be spoke about around a coffee table, doesn't it? I mean, let's face about it.
I like some of the reporters.
Yeah.
I like them. They're nice people. And they are hands are tied by the production, but the production of ITV and BBC and Channel 4. You're alright, lad.
You're alright, buddy.
Channel 4, you know, they've all had the information about this over the years. We've all been informed about what's going on over the years.
Yeah.
And still to this day.
There's been an element of cowardice or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because we can't fully understand, can we? But we do know that they've ignored a lot of this information.
It's evident that it's been ignored by both media and the police and the establishment. But what's doing me nutty now is that they're all coming back now wanting a piece of it.
Yeah.
You alright, guys? You alright, mate? You alright, mate?
No, it's a question of... Yeah, mate.
Start doing Pan UK.
Yes.
About.
Yes. Yes, nice one, mate. See the support he gets. He's only walking up the high street and he's like a bleeding hero.
No, just turn it off.
Oh, right, okay. Say again, pal. There's 58 on it at the moment. Yes. Right, Billy's just got to see someone, so I'm just gonna. Oh. Yeah.
2 bouts of cancer is living on the streets and he's beat it both times.
Oh, just say that again, Billy.
2 bouts of cancer that he's had. He's lived on the streets and he's beat it twice. Them are the people whose hand he shakes, man.
Mate, you know.
You think that air fight's bad? Try being on their side of the coin.
I know. Well, it goes back. This is the stories that should ring home to people, innit? You know, it's all right being outraged, but let's look at it through the eyes of someone who has got nothing, who is on the streets, who has got no way of redressing, and no one's giving them accountability, no one's giving them an abode, and no, you know what I mean? Just look at it from the very, very lowest level.
The head's on a swivel on here for you.
I know. You kind of, you're kind of not with us here. See, Billy's in scope mode now. He's just walking. So let me you carry on walking, mate, and I'll just walk behind you. And let's see what happens on an average day of Billy, Mr. Hemorrhoids, walking up Rochdale Town Centre. Let me have a look at some of these comments. I know, yeah, look. Let's get his feet. What's the feed to the bill? You know what I mean? Hey up. Got more people. So he's shaking hands. Oh, it's great what he's doing. It really is. Getting different reactions off people because I'm walking around with a phone, with a camera sticking off it. Billy and Phil, great guys. Phil. Yes. Yes, Dolly. I'm still, you know what, Dolly? I've still got me all that footage, and I'm going to be working on it from tonight upwards. I had a fantastic chat with Dolly Daydream, a fellow YouTuber who's doing really positive stuff, and she doesn't realise and don't understand how much help listening to her words and the way she composes herself on camera, how much of a help it's been to me and plenty of other people that go on the channel as well. So I'd like to personally thank her and say that chat was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I've got loads of footage, don't know what I'm going to do with it. You all right, buddy?
Oh, you're talking to yourself.
I am anyway, mate. Oh, here we go. So yeah, that's coming out, Dolly. I've not forgot.
Apologies, guys. It's just a lot of friends in this.
Right, okay. I'm just going to film a bit like this. Just a little bit away. Maybe clock a couple of comments while we're on. We're making our way back up to the hub now. Oh, check out yesterday. Peterborough restaurant closed down to 2 bills for arrested since bail. What's going on there?
Bail.
Just a comment that come up from Stacey. Check out yesterday. Peterborough restaurant closed down. 2 girls for arrested, but since bailed.
Thank you. I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Oh, I'm getting hungry now.
No. I had a BLT before we started. So.
Have you? I've had 2 pieces of cheese on toast. That's it. And it's official, guys. I'm bloody hungry. So that's it. It's kind of information that's not really relevant to anyone, but so that's what it is. So anyway, back to comments. Where do we? Buying.
Wow. Eggs and stuff is cruelty to animals.
Eating eggs is cruelty to animals.
Yeah, but if you keep the egg in the chicken, it'll die anyway.
What the? Right, well, let's see this. Everyone wants answers, don't they, Billy? You know what I mean? Even the egg wants an answer.
Maybe I should be more compassionate to other causes like.
Well, same again. Everyone's questioning what's going on in the world, aren't they? And that adds to the anxiety and how people close down, and how communities are not really communities anymore.
Me if it's right, but I see the innocence of the children is more important than the dried up lake.
Well,
might not be to the environment, but to me at this point,
every child deserves that chance to be prosperous and have the opportunity to have that as well.
That's my view, though. That's because of what I do. You know what I mean? I understand the environmentalists will say, "Hey, you can't say that's no good. Hey, this many children will be affected if that river dried up." You know, I don't think that. I think children need to be safe, and that's my biggest concern. The other causes in the town, other people will fight. You know what I mean? I help the cancer research out next door as much as I can.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They've no security. They knock on the wall for me if they've got any problem.
Really?
We lost this, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I said, remember that song? Your nan used to tap 3 times on the ceiling if you want me.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only words I know of it. But I just said to him, not
Billy's
3
showing
times.
his age here now.
Hey, I'm only 39. Alright, 41. But
Oh, look, fake news.
I said just knock on walls, I'll come round.
Right. That's good.
And
So
if they're
that's the
looking
community
for a certain
spirit.
items for the window display, they'll come and ask, or they'll even drop overflow.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
So, yeah.
Alright, let's see what else is going on here. 2020. Let's see. What else? In Japan, there is no Islamic terrorism, no grooming gangs, no stabbing, no acid attacks, because they don't have Muslim migration. It's that simple. It's not that simple, mate. Is it that simple, Billy?
Right, Nick, go on.
I don't know whether it's
daft.
That's the attitude we've got to deal with, and you're not getting away from that.
That's the attitude that makes people say don't listen to them.
That's why you can't talk about this. Am I right in saying that?
Sorry, but that's an idiotic comment.
It's a single-minded position. It's a linear position. It's not addressing the complexities of the issue.
No kids will be abused, or no kids will be stabbed.
How do you get on that?
Like people don't stab people or throw acid or.
You don't get abuse, you don't get domestic abuse, you don't get grooming done, you know. Yeah, you can talk about all types of issues.
Them comments, aren't you?
Well, yeah, unfortunately, same again, mate. We're getting to the point where some people don't want to see anything other than that. I tell you what, I'll go round the back. You open the door for me. All right, I'm going to go round the back because I don't want to walk through the store. But, you know, everyone's entitled to the point, and that's fine, but, you know, by kind of just pointing at one thing like that, you're diminishing the dark that's within all other demographics. And the moment you do that, you've got all them other demographics will go, why the fuck should I take your point on board when you're not even acknowledging the bad that's within your own? You know, and it's really redundant. Even though I get with radical Islam, the shizzle that's going on. Ooh, right, where are we? So you may disagree with that, and that's fine. You know, everyone's got their own opinion, haven't they? Where are we? Jesus, missed a lot of it. The trouble is, a lot of what we are being told is propaganda. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors, a lot of lies. I don't trust the government at all. And you know what, Kimmy, you've got every right. And I'm afraid that with the more dissemination of all types of news, you get a mistrust over bleeding everything. So you find it hard to trust anything, even yourself and your own thoughts at some point, because everything's swapping and changing all the time. You see people losing their affection, losing their composure, losing the love for one another, and it just seems to be getting more and more crazy. That's how it feels.
Phil, what this it?
All right, mate. Hey, Phil, I may be down Gardens next Sunday with. Oh yes, is it next Sunday, Dolly? You'll have to confirm that with me, because I'll come down with you. I think next week we'll talk about that in a minute, because next week I think Billy's on Saturday is doing something. What a lovely environment. Read easy, mate. See how you feel after that. I've no idea what that. Yeah, because I tell you now, it's Rose will verify it. I'm getting to the point where I'm no longer really going to come out and publicly talk about how people perceive this ongoing problem. I'm getting to the point that if you want to perceive it as the Jews run the world, if you want to perceive it as get every Muslim and, tip them off a boat off the end of the bleeding island, however you want to perceive it, I'm kind of done with intermingling with all that now. It's very bad energy. I don't think it's counterproductive to doing anything. And with the energy and time that I find is so expensive in life now, that I'm only going to really propel my energy and time to something that is proactive and not try to tell people where I feel they're going wrong all the time, because that's not doing me any good, and it's probably creating a spike against me that I don't appreciate as well. So at this point now, I'm at the point of saying, well, it's up to people how they want to believe now. It's not up to me to tell people where you're going wrong. It's up to you. I look in the mirror frequently every day. I kind of listen to myself and other people on a daily basis. And my thoughts, because of that, over a massive time evolve. If people don't want to evolve, if people want to just stay on the one linear, there's fuck all I can do about that now at this point. Pardon my French. I've spent 3 years talking to people. I've spent 3 years getting stick off people because they see that what I'm talking about. I mean, in the beginning, I was called divisive because I was saying that this movement's going down the pan. And then, hey presto, the movement went down the pan. But yet it didn't stop people coming out against me and attacking me and making me out as if I'm the one that's not to be heard. And because he's over there, we'll carry on. That ended up coming back so in everyone's face that I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to go through that wave of telling people that, oh, you shouldn't do it like that. You do what you want. All I'm going to do now is project my positivity. I'd love one, mate. Coffee, no sugar, with milk, thank you. And I'm literally doing that. Now, whether that disappoints people, I don't know. Whether that pleases people, I don't know. But if I don't do that, then I'm going to have to come off. I'm going to have to come off doing this because I cannot control other people's emotional waves. I can't be a conduit for other people's emotional waves because I found out last year and the year before it was affecting me trying to navigate other people's emotional waves. That is your journey. That is for you to look in the mirror. That's not for me to look in the mirror. When I look in the mirror, I'm trying to do it every day. And I'm sorry that's a long rant, but I'm just trying to explain. Oh, just do you, Phil? What's going on here? Well, I'm kind of hanging out in the back here with Billy. We're outside Pag and I'm rambling. But we've just been talking. Oh, geez, all right, Billy's having a quick fag. So yeah, we're just here talking about all the current situation, guys. And we know there's a hell of a lot of decent people that want to do the right thing by everyone, that still want to talk about the problem, that are still kind of being victimised on all levels for talking about the problem, that because they do that, they're attributed to what is on a spectrum level further down the path. I guess you've just got to stay strong and you've got to stay true to yourself and kind of keep it going like that. And that's the way I try and profess. Yes, Shane, that's what I'm trying to do. They don't appear to be doing that they treat them as if it's normal, and we need to know why. That's all. I'm not sure what you refer to there. We cannot lose you, Phil. You're a Marvel, and we love you. You know what? I love you too. I love you too. But you know what? There's a way. There's a new. Over the past couple of days, I felt a new invigoration. That for the first time I've been able to have the strength to say that. Whoa.
Tell me someone who homeless will love that.
Well, look at that.
That'd suit someone who's homeless down to the ground.
Give it a good wash and jobs are good in, yeah? Jobs are good in. So no, it's you know, it's, I feel like it's a little bit of a journey. It's like I've hit another phase. That's what I feel like now. I think the phase in the past was constantly getting involved with the movement, constantly doing videos saying, why has he just done that video? Why are you just doing that much? I can't be getting in people's business anymore. I thought I was doing it for the right reasons, but it didn't help. It didn't help me, and it's certainly not going to help people who don't want to listen. So it is a question of that. I'm not going anywhere, Stacey. Thank you very much. And I love the support. I love what I'm doing. But at the same time, if I don't make this change now, I will have to give up, because I can't stay on that plane with people constantly making bad decisions, bad mistakes, not listening to people, and then getting into this almost passive fascist kind of state that when you do come up as someone who wants to critique something that is valid, really. So that, although that sounds a little bit negative, it's not. It's positive, because I feel fucking good, because I know my place now. I know what I need to do, and it's not concentrate on other people's shit when I don't need to. Pardon my French. Exactly, we have to unite and bring the Parliament to account. They are the ones who are the treacherous, yet treasonous and corrupt, not the people. I think you're right there, sir. Divide and conquer. I think you're just kind of explaining there that we've got to come to this realization now and stop pointing at each other and start talking. We need to get all communities. We've got gripes. There's people on this chat that have got gripes about particular communities over particular issues. We've got to be able to pull all them communities in. And I think that's as much as us looking in the mirror, as well as the communities that you want to pull in looking in the mirror as well. And I think that's it. I don't think we're anywhere near that yet. And I think once that happens, I think the establishment will be shitting themselves, because they love the current status quo, in a sense. Keep people apart, keep people where they ain't going to want to talk to one another. That's a beautiful position, in my opinion. I've come away from a few groups because of getting attacked just for having a different point of view. It's so toxic and majoritively negative. You're right there, Kimmy. It's non-productive. It doesn't help anyone. It's not proactive. And let's face it, I've actually known people over this journey are borderline got mental issues because of this, borderline can't cope because of this. They were already in a vulnerable position when they were in this. Now, can you imagine what they must feel like? So this is what we're saying about when we were talking about survivors are paramount. Imagine how vulnerable a survivor is. So if you've got a toxic environment like this, Kimmy, what the hell? How positive is it to throw a survivor straight into it, just to put them on stage, just to talk about the point? You can't, because what you're effectively doing, for all the good intention, you're ruining it by potentially ruining someone's life, potentially putting someone in danger. I might be wrong. I'm learning. I am so learning with this, but a big learning curve was talking to survivors for me and realizing that no matter how mad I am, don't matter how mad I am, I'm not the one who's been grossly abused, sexually violated, exploited. So let's keep it in check. That's how I feel, and that's how I'm trying to project myself, really. Don't always work, but, you know. Anyway, Jesus Christ, I've missed a lot of... I've been doxxed and I've had crap. That's why I've been away for a while, but I'm getting back on it stronger now. Yes, Stacey. Yeah, and I can appreciate that, Stacey. It's not nice, is it? And I'm a chivalrous guy, and to hear that women, genuinely women that I've got a lot of respect for and I've got a lot of time for in this movement, are getting that, when I know that they're decent people. So I know essentially what is happening to them is wrong. But then again, that's only a mirror of why I'm here in the first place, because essentially what is happening is bleeding wrong. So there's something very upside down about all this crap. Good people getting shit, pardon my French, when they don't need to. Good people getting vilified when they don't need to. You know, it's just unfair. But I think you mentioned it there, Stacey. I think one of the key factors is your own state of mind and how you deal with it. Going back again to the appreciation I've got for Dolly, 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 Dolly Daydream. Because of her positivity, if people watch people like Dolly Daydream and think, right, she's not angry enough, she's not covering the points the way I want, it's not showing me sufficient anger, I would say, watch again. Because what you will actually see is someone that has digested that anger, digested that animosity, and farted it out in positivity. Pardon my French. Now, I'm not suggesting that Dolly Daydream suffers from flatulence, metaphorically speaking. Metaphorically speaking. Yes, so anyway, mate, I'm going to kind of wrap this up shortly. Is there any kind of last words that you want to say? I've just been rambling.
Stay safe, stay vigilant, and keep your eyes on your kids' devices, because 90% of grooming does happen online. Whether it be Fortnite, whether it be TikTok, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, check them. If everybody who checks this video tonight, everyone who's watched, how many viewers have you had so far?
Oh, probably a couple of hundred passing in and out.
Right, okay, so if every one of them 200 tonight, and this is a test, if every one of you check devices, and if anyone finds something sinister inbox Phil, I bet you one of you tonight will find something disgusting on the kid's phone. And I'm sorry not to say that to scare you, but just to raise awareness of how much this is happening to anybody's kids. Doesn't matter who you are. So stay safe, stay vigilant, check your kids' devices.
One last check about PAG address. How they can contact you?
138 Yorkshire Street, OL16 1LD. Protest next Saturday at 1 PM at Rochdale Town Hall. Join us there, or you can join us beforehand here at the PAG UK Hub. Anyone's welcome. If you just want to come in for a brew, you want to come and chat, if you want to come out and get some support for your mental health, if you're a survivor and you want support and you want to just talk, we're here. We're here and we can do what we can.
That's it. Can't say more than that, can you, mate? And stay safe and stay positive.
Stay safe and stay vigilant. Always stay vigilant, because you don't lose round the corner.
That's the one. Nice one, Billy.
Right,
is that brew done or what, mate? Is it? Oh, he's on it, look. Right, I've got a brew to go. Right, listen, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to wrap it up. Right, so I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. Hope you've got something positive from this as well. It's all about talking about it. I guess it's not much action, but I guess if you're mentally in the right place, then when it comes to making action, that action is more likely to be proactive and positive than if you're doing it from a place that is not mentally stable. Now, that doesn't mean mental health. That just means not assessing the situation and not allowing and looking at all the angles in a considered way. Now, I'm going to end it with this. Yes, thank you to everyone. Raising awareness is good. Kat, you're a star. I love all of yous. I love all of yous. This is why I love coming up here. Look at this. Surrounded. And on a day like this, honestly, the tram journey is amazing coming up here. And I can get my head into a nice place, stick my headphones on and just relax. And obviously just contemplate all the thoughts and try and stay in a good place. Yes, Tracer. Yes, Kat. Yes, Dollar. Take your power back, indeed. Power is individual. It's something that no one can take from you. Like Dolly says. Even if someone disses you on the street, remember who you are. Remember who you are. You can walk away and don't even have to interject. That doesn't make you a weaker person. That makes you a person that is self-assured of who you are. You don't have to reply to anything. Seriously. But Anyway, I'm rumbling, getting all philosophical. I wanted to get my boots on and go up there, but I didn't have them. So anyway, guys, know thou self. Yes, Dolly. I'm loving this. I'm loving it. I want to go up there. But I can't. So I'm going to have to get the tram back down in a concrete jungle called Manchester. So guys, I love you all. Rambling on. Loving, kissing the bloody phone because I'm just feeling good energy, good vibes. It's a really nice day today. I hope whatever you're doing, it's done in a positive vein. I hope any demonstration that is done from here now in is done in a positive vein. And I hope you think of everyone concerned of the topic matter and what you represent and what you want to achieve as well. So with that, guys, I'm going to say I love you all. Whoop, whoop. Even the pissing haters. Speak soon, guys. Take care.